Okay, good afternoon, everyone. It's nice to see some real faces rather than just looking at the computer monitor. Okay, so today what I'm going to do is I'll give you a brief overview of what is our life sciences major and what is it to offer. Okay, now so first of all, our life sciences major is like one of the major within the College of Humanity and Sciences. It's actually one of the biggest kind of like major within the CHS. Each year we have more than like 400 kind of like student enrollment. And if you include the second major and the minor student, it could be up to like 500 students. Now, so this curriculum is not just taught by the Department of Biological Sciences. It's actually also taught by department from the School of Medicine as well, right? So you can see that it's actually also taught by the Department of Anatomy, Biochemistry, Microbiology and Immunology, Pharmacology and Physiology as well. So as a result, you can see that we can offer close to 100 kinds of like elective module for our student to choose from. And in addition, our student can also do their research project in the department, or in all these School of Medicine department as well. Yeah. So let's look at like the structure of this life sciences major. Right. Now, so you can see that usually a student is required. You can see here they only need to do 15 modules. Okay, or what we call the major kinds of like model LSM modules. Okay, which is equivalent to 60 MC. In addition to the common curriculum, which is about 1/3 of the whole curriculum, and the students still will have like 12 module or what we call the unrestricted elective kinds of like module. So later I will tell you what exactly are these unrestricted elective kinds of like module and what you can use it for. Okay. Now, so the student mainly will do the module, common curriculum module in their first 1 or 2 years. Right. And if you look at the major kinds of like module during the first 1 or 2 years, so you can see that the students are required to read this kind of like what we call the essential module. That means everyone will need to read it, okay, which are including our gateway module and also modules in genetics, evolution, and biochemistry, as well as like a laboratory technique in life sciences, okay? Now, it doesn't mean that you must read all these essential module within the first year, okay? But if you already decided you want to do a life sciences major, you can actually choose to read some of the essential module and the gateway module in year 1, okay, before you go to the second year, okay? And then after that, if you look at year 3 and year 4, all of them are elective kinds of like modules, okay? So, and depending on your choices, you can actually have a lot of combination. So later I will show you what are some of the combination, okay? So you need to read about 8 to 9 module of elective module, okay? And in addition, we also have what we call the research component. So that means all the students will need to do some research project, all right? Either they can do their year-long research project in the final year, or they can do a shorter one, which is called the undergraduate research opportunity program, or the Europe kind of like program, all right? Now, so this looks quite complicated, all right? So you can see this is year 1, 2, and 3, and 4, right? Now, during year 1, so you can see that this is a basic kind of like study plan. Okay, year 1, the students are mainly doing the common curriculum kind of like module, okay? Now, the gateway module, it doesn't mean that you must do it in the first semester. You can actually do it either in the first or second semester, right? And during the first year, if you already decided to do life sciences as major, you can also choose some of the essential module to do your UE spaces, to do it in the year 1 kind of like spaces here, right? And then within year 2, then you will finish the rest of the common curriculum and all the essential module. Okay, so basically year 1 and year 2 are quite similar to everyone. Okay, it's quite similar. Okay, but once you move to the year 3, then you can see that all of them are elective and unrestricted kinds of like module. Then it depends on what you want to do, okay? And then you can have like different kinds of like combination, okay? Now, so many students also ask, okay, we are giving this kind of like what we call the specialization. So what is a specialization? Now, so you don't need to decide your specialization so soon, okay? The specialization is only decided by what kind of research final year project you can do, all right? if you want to have a specialization, you must do a final year project. So you cannot just do a UWork, okay? So if you don't want to have a specialization, you can just graduate by doing a UWork without doing the final year project. Okay? But if you want to do a specialization, you need to do a final year project, and within your specialization, and you also need to choose 3 additional modules, okay? Elective module with using your UE spaces, right, to read module in that specialization as well. So that means you are basically reading a little bit more, okay, of module in that specialization, okay? And so depending on what kinds of module you choose, we have 3 different specializations: BMS or biomedical sciences. We can have molecular and cell biology, and also ecology, evolution, and biodiversity. Right? So we are, of course, offering this life sciences also as a second major or minor to other kinds of major as well. Now, so that means depending on what kinds of module you are choosing, okay, in year 3 and year 4, then you will end up with different kinds of different area that you are interested, right? Here, I'm just giving you some of the what we call the roadmaps within the different kinds of specialization. Now, for example, if a student are interested in biomedical sciences, you can see that here I already list out 4 different types of roadmap that are related to biomedical sciences, right? For example, pharmacology, physiology, infectious disease, and neurobiology. Now, so these are within the biomedical sciences specialization. Okay, a student can choose one of the roadmap, okay, to read, or they can also read things that is across the roadmap as well. Okay, so this is just for your references. It doesn't mean that you must read this particular kind of module. Right? For MCB or molecular cell biology, you can see that a student can also focus on, for example, cell and development, biophysical sciences, and plant sciences. Right? If you are interested in the EEB specialization, you can focus on ecology and biodiversity, or evolution and behavior. Okay, so it really depends on what kinds of module you choose. Okay, in year 3 and year 4, you decide what kinds of roadmap or specialization you will get into it. Now, so just give you an example. Okay, so this student is actually interested in the biomedical sciences specialization, and he's more interested about microbiology and infectious disease. Right? So if you look at his roadmap, so he finished all the common curriculum. Okay, in year 1 and 2, and you can see he read the gateway module and also the essential module here, right? The 5 essential module. But if you look at his year 2, year 3, and year 4 elective, you can see that he's mainly reading module related in microbiology, right? Immunology, infection and immunity, and also general virology, okay? And antimicrobial strategy. All these are related to human disease, okay? So as a result, you can see that this student will have a focus area on microbiology and infectious disease. Of course, he will also need to do the final year project, HMC final year project in that BMS specialization, right? So totally, he's reading about 11 modules, okay, in the elective module in that particular specialization before he will be able to get a BMS specialization. Now, but this is another student, also from the same specialization, but this student is interested not in disease or microbiology. He's more interested in physiology and aging. So in these cases, you can see that he is also reading similar kinds of module in year 1 and year 2 as the previous student. But the elective module that he is choosing is very different. So you can see that he is reading metabolism and regulation, human physiology, right, nutrition, and also this kinds of cardiopulmonary system. Okay, so these are very different kinds of module compared to the previous student. Okay, although both of them are getting the same specialization, but you can see that they can actually focus on different kinds of area. Okay, but of course, he also need to do a research project, the final year research project as well, if you want to get a specialization. Okay, now so then you are asked after the major, okay, and the common curriculum, you still have a 12 module of what we call the UE kind of spaces, right? Of course, you can always use your UE okay, to read some of the other, all the life sciences module as well, if you want to get more area. But you can also choose to use this kind of UE spaces to read a second major, okay, or a minor. Okay? A second major is 40 MC or 10 modules, while a minor is 20 MC or 5 modules. Okay. So here is just some of the example of the major, second major that you can read. Right. For example, you can have a second major in psychology or second major in management. So these are just some of the examples that you can have. Right. Now for minor, we also have a lot of choices. You can have aquatic ecology, bioinformatics, forensic sciences, pharmaceutical sciences, okay, even public health. So these are just some of the examples. Okay. Now, so just give you some example of what is a minor in aquatic ecology. Right. So it's only 5 modules that you need to read, right, including 4 of the essential modules that you need to read, and then you choose one of the modules out of this list of like elective modules. So it's mainly looking at the ecology diversity of freshwater in the marine environment. Right? So you can also read a minor in bioinformatics. Again, you also need to finish 5 modules, which will include module in bioinformatics, right? Genomic data analysis, programming method, and you also choose 2 of the modules out of this list. Right? So this is mainly related on how to use the biological data, okay, and how to see how it can be able to use to help with the different environmental sciences and biomedical sciences. And finally, we also have a minor in forensic sciences as well. Right? So this one is mainly looking at how to relate use sciences, okay, to look at the forensic, okay, how to prove a crime, okay, who is like the murderer. Okay. So again, you also need to finish 5 modules. Okay. Now, so these are what we call the local kind of like program. Okay, but we always have like a connection with the overseas university. Right? Now we have this student exchange program, which is like we have more than 100 of like partner university that our student can go to there. Okay, to read like 5 modules, and only the credit will be transferred back without transferring the credit. Okay, and you are only paying tuition fee to NUS. Right? So it's actually a very popular program, and more 80% of our students are actually going into this student exchange program for 1 semester overseas. We will also have like more serious kind of like overseas attachment kind of like program. So we have a joint degree program with University of Dundee. Okay, so in these cases, you are spending the last 1.5 years in University of Dundee to do a research project in one of the 3 areas, including drug design and discovery, environmental biology, and plant sciences. Okay, so again, you are only paying tuition fee to NUS. Okay, so without paying the tuition fee to Dundee, and you can finish the whole thing within 4 years. Okay, so it's actually a very good deal to our students. And Dundee is actually ranked #1, okay, in the UK for biological sciences. Okay, so that's why they are also a very renowned kind of like university to do biomedical research. Of course, we also have a concurrent degree program. So the whole program is 6.5 years. You are spending 2.5 years in NUS, and then the final 4 years, okay, in Melbourne. Okay, the first year in Melbourne will be what we call the overlapping year. Okay, the credit and the grade will be transferred back into NUS to count for the TAP. And then you are actually paying a smaller amount of like tuition fee during this overlapping year. Okay, but during the final 3 years, you still need to pay the full fee to University of Melbourne. Okay, so I think this is basically just an overview, okay, of what is our life sciences major. If you have any questions, please email us, okay, or you can visit our website, dbs.mus.edu SG, Education and Life Sciences. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, so thank you so much, Prof. Mok. Now we will invite an alumnus from the Department of Life Science, Teng Yongzhen, to share more about his experiences at NUS. He's currently a research assistant in NUS Department of Biological Sciences. Yongzhen, please.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon. Yes. Okay, very nice, very nice, very nice. Okay, hello everyone. Okay, thank you for your coming today. Hello, Prof. Mok. Hello, Prof. Chu. I did modules under them when I was in your position long ago. I was here 6 years ago, also wondering, should I join life science? And yeah, so 6 years later, I'm giving a talk here to you guys. Okay, I prepared my slides this morning, so very last minute. Just like all my modules in NUS. Don't follow me. Okay, so a bit of introduction about myself. I'm a research assistant at NUS now. I'm working with black soldier flies. I'm also a member of the Herpetological Society of Singapore. So we give talks about reptiles and amphibians around Singapore. And I'm also a nature guide at Young Nautilus. So you can kind of get what I like. I like animals. Since I was young, since I was 8, I was like, I'm gonna study animals. I want to go to Africa and see all the animals, all the cheetahs, all the lions. Okay, but nah, I haven't gone yet. So anyone want to sponsor me, please? Okay, yeah, and I want to work with animals. So since young, I knew I wanted to like find a way to work with animals. And currently you can say, oh yeah, you're working with animals now. So in a way, yes, I've got here, but yeah, there's still a lot more. So NUS was known in this region for like having a lot of experts. A lot of the profs are experts in their field. We have a lot of marine profs. We have a lot of plants prof. We used to have like a herb one, but he left. So yeah, but it was an easy choice. I was like, okay, sure, NUS is in Singapore somewhere. Let's go. So I came. And yeah, this is my journey. I'll break it down year by year. But don't worry, your journey will be very different from mine. Okay, we all have very unique journeys. Okay, so this is what our sum up each year will be like. Okay, year 1, you explore your options. Okay, you're fresh, you come in, all the guys after 2 years of NS, you need to get your brain warmed up to studying. And then year 2, you start finding what you like, start exploring all the modules. You got a lot of modules you can see. And year 3, okay, it gets tough, but it also gets more fun because then you start going to your specialization. What the modules you really want to do, or the modules that you find, hey, very interesting from your year 2, like, okay, I want to do the next module in this series. And then in year 4, okay, you prepare for the future. Okay, so year 1. In your earlier education, your poly, your JC, or any other things you do, okay, a lot of the modules you have touched already. So I did molecular genetics, I did under Prof. Chu. There's one test that everyone will know if you once you go through life science. It's an open universe test. It's not an open book. You can ask your friends online. You can just ask your friends during the test itself, 1 hour. But no matter what you do, you leave the exam and like, I still don't know what the question is all about. Yeah. Okay. I also did with under Prof. Mok. Yeah, I remember the lectures being very interesting also. It was 1106. Yes. Many years ago already. Do I remember anything about that? No, zero. Okay, yes. In NUS, make friends. Make as many friends as you can, especially year 1. Make as many friends. Be nice to everybody. Do your work in a group project. Do together. Okay. Some people will go into the environmental biology. Some will go into biomedical sciences. Some will go into the molecular biology. Everyone will go different places. But you know, sometimes it's good to know because you get to make friends. You get to communicate. You have a question that, I did a bit of genetics, and let me ask my friend, do you know what is this thing? Oh yeah, this is this thing. They will ask you. They'll send you this. And then also for me, my friends will be like, what's this animal? Oh, this animal. What's this plant? Oh, is this plant? Okay. Then within the specialization, like for me, within the environmental biology, okay? Some people like plants, some people like fungi, some people like marine animals, some people like birds. I like reptiles. Okay, 6 years ago, exactly me, right in this LT, sitting here. So skinny then, now better already. Okay, and then take note of this guy here, this guy in yellow, this other guy in yellow shirt. Okay, the one with the dark bill. I'll talk about him a bit more later. Okay, make friends. If you can, go for all your science camps, or your science orientation week, life science camp, any camps that you have in mind, do your best to go. If you can't go, never mind, but do your best to go, make friends. Oh, my group, right? And this is my science camp group. Some of them are seniors, but I think half of them were in life science. So yeah, we could take classes together. We could arrange for class to go for classes together. Some were on their own, right? They're like, I need to make a whole new group of friends because I don't have anyone to go with, or like they're very niche subjects. Okay, I also stay in RVRC. Just right down the road. If you want to stay in campus, I recommend that one. Very near. 8 a.m. lecture, I wake up at 7:50. Yes, and then this is also a friend that I'll always see, frogs. I always find frogs all around. Okay, I'll go into more on that. Okay, So take the modules that you have interest in. Okay, in year 2. When you're year 2, you start getting a lot of things. I did ecology and environment, right up my alley, biodiversity, right up my alley, and human anatomy. Wait. I thought you're interested in animals. Why human anatomy? I don't know. We are humans. I don't know. Like I know more about animals than my own body. That's kind of weird, right? So I just, okay, why not just do human anatomy? Okay. Then I also did research under Europe's. Okay, Prof Mark mentioned just now on frogs in NUS. So basically, I just walk around NUS multiple times finding frogs. Okay, yeah, literally. And when the frogs come out in the day, no, at night. So let's walk around at night. Okay, last time Pokemon Go was still popular, so I put my phone inside, then I hatched my egg. Okay, then yeah, I found a species that was not previously recorded before. So yay. Okay, and then in year 2, it's also the best time to get a clearer idea what you like. A lot of my friends, right, in their first year, they're like, actually, I don't know which specialization I want to go to. But year 2 is when you take the mods. You're like, maybe you like this, but you realize, this is very hard. Or actually, I like physiology even more. Then they go on the physiology path. Okay, and also it's a good opportunity to do internships. Okay, internships during your holidays as much as you can. This is like a slide from, I'm just looking through my old pictures while I'm making the slides. That's why I did it this morning only. This is like a microscope slide. It's very well preserved. This is part of the urinary bladder. You can see all the muscles here and there. All this, I don't remember any of the functions. I don't remember anything about this. But I just remember, like, I look at the microscope, like, I must take photos. So I have like about 1,000 photos of all the microscope, all the slides. Do I remember anything? No. Did I refer before my exam? No. I just went for my exam. Then, okay, yeah, this is part of my nightly exploration. You can see the frog right in the middle. This is an Asian toad, very common in Singapore. Asian toad, this frog. All right, I keep seeing this one. Like, come on, it's getting boring already. This one is like, I think he can't see me, but clearly can see you very well. And then, boom, what is this frog? Oh, this is a field frog. Never recorded NUS before. So, yeah, my Europe's, it did better than I expected. I got an A-. Yep. Just walking around at night regularly. Yep. Okay, so year 3, this is where the fun begins, because that's really where you get all the exciting modules, a lot of modules that you'll be very interested about. Like, oh, this thing, I basically, when I was year 1, I look at the module list. I was like, okay, I'm looking for the year 3, because year 3 got all these modules. But it's also where the fun begins, because you have a lot more readings, you have a lot more smaller classes, more bell curve. Everyone is interested in the same thing, so there's no like, I'm better at this because, you know, I kind of know more than you. No such thing, no such thing. Everyone has to study very hard. Okay, so some modules I did like entomology and avian biology. So I did a lot of fieldwork. I enjoy fieldwork, collect insects, and then bird watch. And then I also went for exchange in year 3 in my second semester. Okay, I'll go into a bit more on what I learned from my exchange. Okay, sorry, if you're interested in insects, too bad. This is my insect collection. We have to go around catching insects. We pin it, and yeah. So if you look right above here, I can't reach. That's a black soldier fly. So I took this photo not knowing that 3 years later I'll be working with this fly. Okay, and this is me and my friends in UK. They collect mussels. We did like small research down there. So this was a field trip. I had my exchange in Birmingham, which is like kind of central of UK, and we went to Wales to do a field trip. So for them, a lot of my friends are like, oh, I've not been to the beach before. Oh, I've never done an intertidal before. Meanwhile, in Singapore, I can go to the beach every day and go home and sleep. For them, we have to take a bus all the way from Birmingham to Wales and then spend half a day to go collect the mussels and come back to our lab. So like, it's a very interesting opportunity in Singapore to study marine stuff. Because overseas, to study marine stuff, you either stay near the shore or you go once in a while. Must plan a week-long trip. Yeah, and our research was very simple. In NUS, if you get to see the labs, I don't know if you all got to see when you all go on your tours, you get to see a lot more. Yep. Okay, year 4. I guess it'll be an FYP and FY is final year internship, final year project, final internship. Okay, a lot of my friends found their future employers while doing their final year internship. So I have friends who did like, it's like, oh, I don't know, I'm just going to do a M-Parks internship. Then he did it with a streetscape. So he managed the trees along the roads. And then now he's working there as a full-time staff. Yeah. And then I have friends who did like FYP and then found like a niche. They're like, oh, I like this research. And their profs like them. So they publish papers and now they're doing their PhDs. And then the mods are also very interesting and very, very in-depth. Okay, so it's basically you're going very specific already. You're no longer touching the surface, you're going deep in details. Yeah, that's also where I met my current boss. Oh yeah, COVID disrupted my year 4, so year 4 was not a great year for me. Yeah, this is my prof. She does research on a lot of things, mainly on evolution of reproduction in insects lah. So yeah, she started from NUS as well, and now she's a prof here, or associate prof. Okay, so a bit of final thoughts. Life science is a very general degree. You can see I'm talking all about the animal side of things. There's all the cellular things, there's all the microbiome things. Okay, I'm not very familiar with all those, but you get to slowly realize over time. You don't have to like decide something immediately. It's not like if you're in engineering. Okay, I'm not throwing shit. If you're like engineering, I do electrical engineering. How come I'm like, I don't really like electrical engineering. I want to do something else. It'll be hard to change. In life science, you still get like the first year and the second year, a bit of second year to play around with it. Okay, if you really have no idea what I'm doing now, don't worry. Year 1 first, then you see what you like. Okay, and then our friends. Okay, remember just now the guy in yellow shirt next to me. He started doing forensics. He was very into forensics, entomology. Then currently he just got accepted into his PhD to do a PhD on insects as vectors for diseases. So yeah, he went from forensics to forensic entomology to entomology. Yay. Okay, and then life science teaches you how to look at things in a biological way and answer questions that you have in that way. Okay, so Prof once told me every question in biology can be answered by evolution. Then another prof told me everything in biology is DNA or RNA. So you don't have to have the right answer, but you just need to keep finding your answer, just like your life here. Okay, these are some jobs that my friends have. A lot of friends doing PhD, some friends from the other non-ecology side of things. They went to do Duke NUS, a lot of friends MPAS, NGOs. Yeah. So is this not exhaustive? This is just off the top of my head. In like 10 minutes, I can think of all these things. Definitely a lot more jobs. You're not worried about looking for jobs out there. Okay. And do I have any regrets coming to life science? Yes, but no. I regret not doing some modules because some modules, in hindsight, they were very interesting or they would have been very helpful. But no, I don't regret choosing life science at all. I really enjoyed my time. Okay, thank you. See you guys next year or next AY. Yay.
So let's thank both Prof. Mao and Yongzhen once more. We hope that everyone here has been able to learn more about the program. We have now come to the end of the talk, but if you have any other questions, you can visit the Department of Biological Sciences booth, which is located outside at the foyer area. You can also find out more about the vibrant student life here at CHS at the booths or of the student societies, or join one of the tours that will bring you around the faculty's key facilities, educational spaces, and research laboratories. Do sign up early though, as there are limited slots for each tour. We hope you enjoy the rest of your day here at the CH Open House. Thank you.